The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman. This is the Tiger Technicians Hour on this Tuesday, the last day of trading day, certainly, of September. And we're looking at the Dow at 24, down 23.92 at 46,296. What is really important about this, technical Fridays, where we go through things in a very methodical way based on Chapman wave methodology. I need to do it now. I would have preferred let me run the numbers. The numbers are the Dow's down 11 at 43,306, underneath the 46,714 all-time high. The S&P is also under its all-time high. It's trading down 8.24 at 66.52. 0.78. They're all going to be we'll be talking about the same kind of thing in a moment. So the QQQ is down off its all-time high of 602.87 at 597.27, down $1.48. The IWM, the Russell 2000, is down off its high of 247.18, all-time high. Yeah, interesting, though, that triple top, right? Well, we don't know if it's a top, but 3 times hit 244 level and went just above it. Now what we're looking at is down 86 cents, and I do want to go to the SMHs because that's very different. SMHs has gone to an all-time high yesterday, and it's trying to tackle that today. So the all-time high was 300, let me just do this right here, 320. 683. Let me just change that. 326.83. 6. There we go. 6.83. And it's down off that high as we speak. The other thing we're looking at is within the context of the different, let's go to the XLK because they're all doing the same thing. Look at the XLK. Type it in right there. XLK. Yep, there we go. XLK is underneath the all-time high, and it's at 280.76, up 43 cents. And let me just draw. This is the kind of trend line I like to draw. Look at that. So this is not one of my favorite patterns, only in the sense that it doesn't do very much. You see that triangle formation? Basically, the technicals are still very strong. There should be a test of the slightly higher high. The SMHs, the XLK, which is the S&P Select Tech Spider Fund, made an all-time high at 282.89 on the 22nd, and you can see it's just a couple of points below that right now. So what's really, what I'm focusing on, and this is going to be very, this is key really, is a pattern. Now, did I move that away? Yeah, I did. There's a pattern that I talk about all the time in the Chapman wave methodology, one I discovered a long time ago, way back. It's one that I used right at the very beginning when I joined TFNN back in 2002. Then 2003, I started my newsletter. And very soon after that, the gold, I think it was ASA, gold's, it's like a fund, but it's a gold, South African gold companies, gold stocks. And it was amalgamated into ASA. And I believe it was that. It might have been Newmont. I think it was really, it was ASA. And the monthly chart had gone to a leg D and then a peak D. And then it came down. And then after that, we had this expression that I used to use very often, which was the dreaded H, meaning that I look at 3 core patterns: straight up, straight down, cup formation, arch formation, mix of 1 and 2 and 1 and 3. So look at this. If it comes down sharply and then at a peak A or a B, it's usually at a B, it starts to arch over and then it takes out decisively the left side low. Look, it looks like an H, a little sloping back, but an H. That means you've got to be careful. That's the pattern that we're monitoring. This one's a little high. It can still do this as only an A. Let's just go to the Dow, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. INDU. So there's your A. I've made it gray because it's under the previous peak D. And now I'm going to make it just a little darker. That's all, not changing it, but it's a. So today's high is at 46,382.51 is below yesterday's high. So there's a chance we could make an A. The day's young. Anything can happen. And the fact that the market's acting like this when there's actually a shutdown about to be ushered in, or at least suggestion that this is amazing. It just shows the internal strength of the market at this particular point. So here's the pattern. So we come down. If this arches over, and let's just say let's make it Friday. Friday, we're testing 45,785. And by Monday, we take it out. That's the dreaded H pattern. Then you have to start, if within 3 bars it doesn't close nicely above the low of 45,785, it could, if it doesn't even take that out and rallies, it could go to the previous high. If it takes it out and rallies, it's usually this arch high, this 46,003 or 400 area that would be the resistance that you'd expect it to come to. And if it decisively takes it out for 2-3 days, it goes much lower, then you're looking at the best case scenario is a moving average, a candle, a doji candle or something, but a halfway rebound before it fails. All right, that's the Dow. Look at the S&P. Potential H pattern. It did rally a little bit stronger, and that's good, but I'm still going to draw it in because what you do is you want to say, these are the patterns that could unfold. And if it doesn't unfold, that's very, very positive. And then there's an alternate way to look at it. And the alternate way, not yet, but I'll look at it if there's a move over yesterday's highs in the market, then I have to look at it and say, hey, we could make a cup formation. There are always 2 viable alternatives. One says one thing, and the other says, if it doesn't work, this is another way to look at it. So you're always ready. All right? So that's what we're looking at. Look at the QQQ. Also had a very nice rally, and it could turn around. We'll see if it's going to do that. Now, I'd like to look at the technicals at the same time. The other MACD is turned down, just crossing negative. The RSI, the relative strength, negative. The stochastic, 73% under 80%, not a big deal, but it is negative. And the blue on-balance volume. But that 9-period moving average, and I said to my subscribers to my opening call, we aren't going to do anything unless one thing happens today, and that is the Dow declines quite sharply and hits a particular level, and we might do something. But we've got only long positions, and we will add a trading position for the negative side if certain conditions are met. I don't want to get in front of it. It's going to have to tell me. Now, what's even more important about talking about telling me, look, so this 602.87 high of the QQQ, look where we went. We went to 602.05. I mean, just an eye blink away from an all-time high. So the 9 over the 14 is really important. IWM, pulling back down 97 cents at 240.59, all-time high 247.18, under the November 2021 244.46 all-time high, plummets to 161.47 October of 2023. Whoosh, it goes all the way back to 244.98, 52 cents higher. November of 2024, and then plummets all the way down to 170, and it comes right back to where? 247.18. Amazing, huh? All right, so that's like a cup and handle pattern right there. All right, next thing we want to look at here is a GDX. GDX was weak, now it's strong again, up $1.06 at 76.77. Oh, almost at a new all-time high. Amazing.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, so we're looking, Dow's now up 24, S&P's down about 4. We're looking here at silver down 0.26 at 46.75. We just took a smidge off our one of our long positions. It's been just really good gains. I didn't want to do much more. So silver, see now you've got this as a G/C. If tomorrow it just pops one more, if let's say today doesn't go above today's high, today doesn't go above yesterday's high, 47.41, and that's just 3 points above the high of today so far. 47.39 is the high. But if it does that, then I'm looking at that. I'm just saying, in fact, I'll put this in because I just want it for my own validation of the techniques that I'm using. So I had that as a sideways one, which was back in, which worked beautifully back in July. The week of the 25th, I put in a rectangle, and then finally 4, 5, 6 weeks later, it broke out. Here I'm going to put this a little bit higher, just a little bit higher, and I'm just going to say that's the range that I would expect. Let me just do this, move it over. And I'm just expecting, yeah, it could go, just in this move now, it could go maybe to the 47.90. Maybe just the low 48 level, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a digester phase that takes it down to the 40, to this candle, the low of last week, which was 43.37. So I'm just putting that in to say, hey, this is just a marker for you, just to keep in mind that that's the potential that you have in the patterns that you follow. Now, I needed to do this, and it's going to be very important. So I did that. Look, high-grade copper is pulling back just a little bit, down 3 ticks at 4.85. It could also be stuck in a range right here. Not doing all that much, maybe going just a tad higher, but basically being stuck in there's the range. Platinum has made a fabulous move to the upside. So that was D, and that's an E, A, B, C. Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. So we've got a leg C in the weekly chart of platinum. There we go. All right, and this is a leg B in the monthly chart of platinum. Very, very, very strong move. Technically A, B, C, D, E. That E could be, in fact, an E slash, because the 9-period moving average, have a look at this, and I'll show you this in real time as well. Look here, E slash B, and I should not have put the down arrow because the 914 never crossed negative. So this really is, I'm calling this an F slash C, leaning on the F, but F slash C. Now let me show you what happened here. Look what happened in this. This is the live thing. You remember I've been speaking about this a lot. I spent a great deal of time saying when you've had a very sharp move down at a D or even an E, and your 9-period moving average just refuses to go pink and stays green, that's usually internal strength. So when I put a down arrow and it does that and goes to a higher high, I have to say, oops, that was premature. So I put a question mark here and I've got an E. So this is a work in progress. Technically, it could just be that this is an E continuation pattern. It could go to E and then it could go F, it could go to G. You just got another at least 2 peaks to go. But what I am saying is that this is premature, just as it would have been premature right here to put the down arrow right there. That was wrong, because it didn't do it. Now, sometimes it's inevitable. It is a down arrow because it's used up a lot of time. All right, so let's get back to our story. Question came in NVIDIA. And the question is, let me just see. The question is, hi, Basil, can you take a look at NVIDIA? It seems to be caught in the rectangle formation that you speak of. If it breaks above 184.35 high, would your price project to the 205 range? I'll got that project from the low to the high of the rectangle, which is about 20 points, and it did go to the 184 high of the rectangle formation. All the best, Eddie. So look, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, you've made new highs. This becomes, just missed it right there. There would have already been D. So you have to use a notation as well. So here's the daily chart. 170.96. Yep, I thought so. Parallel highs. I could use it as a phantom peak. I don't really need to do that. This is a low of consequence. That's the low at 164-ish. Now you've got peak A and a peak B and a leg C. And this is just barely above the previous high of peak D. So isn't that fascinating? Look, 184.47, and today's high is 184.94. So we're in leg C. Now, normally what I'd be doing is I'd be looking at this and I'm saying, okay, I really have to use it as a phantom peak, because if I get to this leg here, and then this would be, so that would be red or pink, that would be blue, that would be blue, and right here we would be at D. And if we were in, we're not. In NVIDIA, I'd have to do something, just take a little bit off for money management, because it looks like that's a D. But it's been so strong. I don't want to do anything like that. I can come back to it, but I am going to say I'm treating this as a leg C. All right? So I'm not using a phantom peak. I could, under my conditions. Why? Because look, that you see that little wiggle right there? That coincided with the wiggle right there in the technical. So I could do that, but I don't want to. I think there's enough strength to say might pull back and then make a modest new high. Now, what's fascinating about this NVIDIA is that we've got a leg C that started, and altogether, peak A was right here. Look, so 183.97 the week of the 15th of August. Peak B is 183.97. Peak B is 184.47. I mean, less than a point higher. Then it pulls back to the 14-period moving average, and now it's gone to a leg C, fractionally higher. And what this is telling me, so you're talking about 205, I'm saying when I see a major instrument like NVIDIA, a major symbol, struggling to break a resistance level I say I'm going to give it no slack. It has to prove itself. And this is the cup formation, slightly rising cup formation. Now, you remember we were looking at that, and I said, I don't put too much import in the triangle formation. That's like this, because it's the trend that counts. It's the most important thing here is the trend. MACD has only just turned, it's actually break even. The relative strength is still pretty good. Stochastic's still very good at 82%. And this is the weekly chart, and the on-balance volume is not overbought. So I would say that there's still enough residual strength to go slightly higher. I'm not going for 205 yet. I think later on, the 205, 215 area is going to be it. Going to be a target for NVIDIA, but I don't think in this particular move. I think what we're looking at here, now look at this pattern that we're looking at in the, in the daily chart. So NVIDIA at 184. Look, it's been going on for a long time. Now, what would happen is if this move now, this is the daily chart in leg C, I'm going to go back to the weekly chart. I would have to consider 205 if this closed decisively above 184. So 180, 88 to 189, I have to start saying, okay, now I can think of the 190s. Not yet 200. I'll be back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
So let's just make it clear that NVIDIA is holding really well. It hasn't broken this resistance. It just popped a little bit as we were talking. Now it's at 185.50. Actually, it's getting a little bit of buying. I consider this a leg C in the daily chart. It could be a D, but I'm calling it a C because that's just the way it is. A, B, C. I didn't use the flat top where you get exact parallel high. And this is a C in the weekly chart. Now, because it's a high-level consolidation going from 86 to 182, 183, and it's just pulled back, just over a couple of weeks, it's pulled back to 164.07. This is outstanding action. So with that said, it's also telling me that the SMHs, that the semiconductors, and this is very important, have not yet given any signal to suggest that they are ready for a 15 to 20% pullback. And as a result, and you remember, look, I used the phantom peak right there. You remember I said I'm treating this as a phantom peak because if I get to what I think could be a D and we pull back sharply, I want to be ready for it. But in fact, it pulled back for one day and then broke above, gapped up. This is the semiconductor components. This is the index, the Van Eck Semiconductor ETF, and it gaps up. Someday, the 310 area, 306 to 310 area will be filled, but I don't think just yet. And that's what we've got to prepare for. So I think that this is still very nice, and that's the reason why I said we will only go short, and we'll short the Dow just as a trade, because we're still long the core position from April, and just as a trade, only if certain conditions are met, and so far, I better not speak out of turn, but I don't believe they're even close. Let me just give me 1 second. I do want to look at that because I did mention it. Yeah, that's the high. No, not even close, and that's the way I like it. All right, so a couple of other questions came in, and I'll get to them in a moment. But there's a question in the Dennis. I just wanted to see, I looked at this yesterday, and I thought, what on earth is going on here? WOLF, there are two wolves. One is WOLF, the other one is WULF, which we often monitor. This is WOLF. Wow. Oh. Is this a new, it's been a new issue. Oh, is that what it was all about in the den? I didn't see it. Is 0.008 a new share? Oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, so that is, it's been split. It's been reverse split. I don't know what it is because it's trading at 29.07. What do you 100 to 1 or something? Anyway, whatever it is, yeah, there we are. 120 to 1. Oh, my, that is so depressing. They have to make, it has to rise 120-fold to get back to where it was yesterday morning, I think. Wow. All right, that's Wolf. The other Wolf, WLF, which is very different. Look at this chart. Very nice chart. This is TerraWolf Inc. operates industrial scale data centers, Bitcoin, and high-performance computing. A brand new peak A, B, C, and it's in leg D at 1164. This is very nice. Now, so we have IRN, and that is trading up 11 cents at 46.04. It hit 49.30. So yeah, this is in the data centers. This one is one that I felt very strongly that it had the components that I look for. I didn't really do an incredible amount on the fundamentals, but I do know that the earnings are good. It's one of the few in the area that have earnings profitable. IREN Limited, ordinary shares, Iris Energy Limited, formerly or Iris Energy, next generation data centers, renewable energy GPUs. So all I can say is that, they're doing different things. And Wolf, WULF, not the other one, No, this is not the wolf in sheep's clothing. This is a real wolf, terror wolf. And look at this. I'll do this quickly. So this is leg F in the weekly chart. It is a leg. What did I say it was? I think it was a. There we go. Okay, look. Here's the daily chart, and we've got a peak A right there. A, B, C, and we're in leg D. Very nice. Good action, right? Percentage-wise, that's a really big percentage going from the low, most recent low of 8.89 to 12.06 today. That's a very nice percentage. Am I hearing music background or something? I'm not sure what I'm hearing, but anyway, until I hear the music, I'll just keep talking. So I want you to do that. Then the other question I had was, crude oil. So look at this. Here's crude oil. Look at that huge. So this is your starting point. That there. So that's peak A, peak B, peak C. Then it pulls back. Under it has gray A, gray B, gray C. But that C is not a C. Why? Because that C took out that C. So therefore, it finally made the D because it never took out the low. So here we are. Crude oil made that D. And I drew this in and I said, we've got to be careful because there's a pattern in the Chapman wave methodology that I always look for. When it goes to a D, but it does it in this particular format, it's the Chapman wave falling axe. Am I going to find? Yeah, I'll do that. Chapman wave inverted falling axe formation. Here's the falling axe formation, right? Let me just drag this across here. So this is the falling axe formation, where sharp move up usually goes to D, E, F, and then it comes down with lower lows and lower highs, and the lower lows as a trend line, much lower lows as a trend line, and then all of a sudden it finds some support, and then it takes out that upper declining trend line, and it can go all the way to the top. Well, this is the exact same thing. I just turned it upside down. You can even see that the lettering is upside down. It goes up, has higher lows and much higher highs, and then all of a sudden it arches over and it fails. When it does that in a peak D, very often it actually stalls and it doesn't take out the left side low because it's already used up a lot of energy to the upside, but each one of those pullbacks used up softness in terms of pullbacks. So let's see what we've got here. What we've got is this trend line that I drew in recently. Let me go back here. Whoop, there. That trend line, the Chapman wave inside track propellant zone. And right this green. Make it a little higher. Look at that. So this is very important because if we take this out right here, if it goes under 6150, there's a chance that it's going to retest the low of August the 13th at 60.77. So this is serious, the pullback in crude oil. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's down 161, S&P's down 16. Basil, Chapman, Tiger Editions Hour.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. an amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn. And he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, so just to let you know, we did go short the Dow, a very tight stop. I'm just prepared. It's going to have to tell us exactly what's going on. And at this particular point, I'm just thinking that when markets fell up until the last 4 or 5 months, when there was something serious going on, and remember, I had this all drawn in earlier on. Let me just find it. Ooh, why am I in wrong chart. Let me go here. I had drawn this in a long time ago, and I said it's usually interest rate related, but for the last 6 months, and then I mentioned this from about March or so of this year, April, I said it's been other things that have said there's a pullback coming. And this is the chart that I use. It's called the Chapman Wave Dark News Cloud Cover, using the Dow daily chart. And I mentioned the internal low and residual low, that's where the earthquake, and then you get the aftershock, which can be less, the same, or more than the earthquake, and that gave an internal low or internal high, and then a residual low or residual high. And I said, I believe that the high that was made right here, that was made on the 23rd of September, and that was at 46,714, is what I call a residual high, and that we will be choppy. I didn't know whether it would be much negative. Look, the 9-period moving average is still sharply above the 14, but everything about what I was looking at suggested that this was we've had 2 already, internal high and residual high. Then an internal high, that was the last one, was on the 11th of why does it say? 11th of September. And then a little higher was the one on the 23rd, I said, of August, I mean to say of September. So this just says, if it's taken out, this is one of the few creeping sell signals that we've had ever since we made the high of the 3rd or the 4th of July, 44.88. I'm just looking to see something. 44,885. This has been the modus operandi. Green 9-period moving average, but pullbacks to underneath the 14-period moving average, and then it rallies. And I'm thinking the same thing here until something changes. So I don't mind having a 1 or 1.2% loss, keeping our core position, just to be ready, because it's telling me just to be ready. That's all it's saying. I've got this all set up, and we haven't broken to a new high. Break to a new high, this gets canceled. Just wanted to inform you. So HIMAX, which is, this is in, did I put in, I forgot to tell the story. This is HIMAX Technologies, Inc. I believe it is the monitors. Anyway, it's to do with, it's in the, here we go, I'm typing and talking at the same time. So it's in the semiconductor area, very specific, A, big B, big C, and then it stalls. Now underneath it's got a gray A. All right. So in the weekly chart, it's got same thing going on. There's your A, there's your B. Oh, I used to have this all notated because we used to own it. C, and I think that's a D. And now we've got a brand new A and a B. All right, and let's go to the daily. And this is what I want you to draw. I want you to spend a little time on this because it was mentioned in the Den as one that we used to own. It did very nicely. Just haven't owned it for years. But we've always followed it. D, and then another A, B, C, D. All right, look at this. You see, this is very important in my work. When I see a gap like this that's filled, and it isn't filled very quickly, it's very steady, higher highs, higher lows. Higher lows, stair-step move, up, then a higher low, up again, higher low, up again, higher low. I'm very impressed because it says whatever the news was on this huge gap down, and this is a gap down with volume. Now, I wish I could do this. I'm going to do it. Take a moment here. Yes, I've got time. This is HIMAX, HIMX, trading right now, up 12 cents at 878. You see that volume spike? That is one of the biggest volumes. It had another volume spike like that right there on that bad news event. That was back on the 19th of March. Now, I would have had a tough time deciphering this and calling it a Chapman wave. This is called the climactic reversal low. Why? Because the volume was matched and even surpassed back on that pullback. I like this when it goes back, a year almost, and even more than that, like Schwab did back in May 30th. It was when it made that 45 round number low of 2023, something like that. All right, so this, I would have said it's got all the characteristics. Now it has to make higher highs and higher lows. Well, look what happened. The low on the 6th of August was 8.45. The high on the 7th of August was 756. So finally it took out the 845 low. It took it out right there on the 27th, followed up with a peak E the next day, pulls back, green moving average held, and it went to a peak A, B, C, and another D. So this is very good work because it says whatever happened here, it's been resolved, and now you've got a new base, which is much higher. The base now for this is the 200-period moving average of 8.15 to just under it, probably this doji candle right here of 777. So it's a work in progress. It's doing very nicely, and more importantly, it's in an area that's been very, very successful. That's the SMHs. So, in fact, before I do anything else, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say, I can't do this. I'll do it here. Can't do it here. Let's go right there. All right, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say, hi, that's with a Y, HIMAX, no, MAX Tech does. All right, what does it do? Is Fabulous, semiconductor company that designs and provides display imaging processing technologies for a wide range of electronic devices. All right, it's in the sweet spot. I like it. I don't think I wouldn't get too carried away. I just say I like it, and it's something to keep on your radar because it really has to get to very close to the previous major high at about 960. So it has to get to 930. Once it gets to 930, I think now it's a different cup of tea. It's really raised the base, and now it's starting to point upwards. Right now, it's more kind of sideways, but it's great that it's doing that. Hope that helps you. Next question will be, yes. Okay. Yeah, let me just do this because I didn't do Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now trading. It was an excellent day yesterday. BTC down 935, still very good. Nice comeback after a horrible decline from the 119-ish area, 119,000 to 109,000. Yeah, I'll be right back. Dow's down 92, S&P's down 5.5. Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians Hour.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Yeah, it just been the moment we've got Oscar, OSCR, Oscar Health Inc., Healthcare Insurance Services, doing very nicely at 19.35, stuck in a range. Reason why I didn't put a down arrow because it didn't go pink at the 9-period moving average, but that doesn't mean to say it shouldn't have a down arrow. This is one of those where it went under the 14-period moving average for so long. It really, I would put a down arrow because it'll have to prove itself, but it's doing very nicely. I think it's kind of stuck in a rectangle formation between 1739, and if it touches 20.33, is really going to test that 21 high, that 20.77 high, and go to 21. So that's that. The next one was ARVN, which is Arvin, Inc., Cancer and Neurological Diseases. Beautiful, goes to a leg E, leg C in the weekly chart. I like this very much. It's got tremendous support. It's at 858. It's got a lot of support between 770 and 750. Then FXI is China, doing very nicely, trying to make the cup formation to get back to the previous high at about 4150, 57-ish. Doing very nicely, high-level consolidation. So let me just make it clear. Although we did start a short position, I have none of the things that I really like. That is the 9-period moving average, which is looking so good over the 14, starting to pull back sharply, getting close to the 14-period moving average. That says there's still a lot of residual strength. So all I'm saying is that I did it on a purely technical basis. Anything can happen here with the, whatever the protocol becomes with this budget funding the government. That's just going to be really important. But I did do it on a purely technical basis. Some of our other positions, funnily enough, are still doing very nicely here. It's very, very nice. So I'll be back with Tommy later on today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you. Check out my opening call daily newsletter, and I will see you tomorrow.